Alright, so thought it was time for another little football video just talking about everything that's going on with regards to the transfer market, to be honest with you. Just to get straight into the video, I think the most interesting kind of area and department that teams are really struggling to find someone in, and it has been a case for a couple of years, is that number 9 role. Everyone out there, Liverpool are probably looking for a number 9, Arsenal are looking for a number 9, we know that, United are looking for a number 9. And I think everyone would probably say and agree that it's becoming very hard to find someone that you want to get in, that you know is going to be a sure thing, because the prices that these guys that we're going to go through, like your Gyokeres and Seskos and Isaac and all those guys, I mean, you're touching close to 100 million, aren't you? You're looking at 70 plus for a few of them. I think Gyokeres' release clause is about what in the 60s or something. But you're not talking small money, right? And it's going to take a big part of your budget to lure that guy in. Sometimes I think, as it should, if you want to get a guy that's going to get you goals, you got to go out and pay the money. But there's not a lot of them out there. There's not a lot at all. So I wanted to start this video with the search for a number 9. So the two guys that are really kind of being talked about, that everyone's looking at, but again, what I find interesting is no one's going and taking the jump and getting it done and being like, yeah, we're getting him in, he's going to get us the goals, he's our guy. So those two guys are obviously Gyokeres and Sesko. So I had a little look at both of them. I've watched a couple of highlight clips just to kind of just get a quick idea again on what types of players they are, because I don't watch the Portuguese league, and I don't watch the Bundesliga as much as I do the Prem and the Scottish league. So just to get an idea in my head. But I had a little look at those highlights. I want to go through the stats, just kind of go through the last kind of 5 years or so roughly. Sesko's a bit younger, so we'll go through his last couple of years just to see where they're at, and if it's worth kind of spending that money on them. And I do find it interesting that no one is definitively gone for them, like I said, because you're really needing that position. There's not a lot of them, and if you're not fully sure and you're spending that much money, I don't know, which makes it tough. So let's look at Gyokeres. So we know he's 27, right? He's just turned it, beginning of June. So he's a little bit older. You could say he's in peak years, but he's maybe got. I know players play a little bit longer now, and everything's going a bit longer duration. He's probably got 2 to absolute 3 more years, real peak, real max. Certainly if you're kind of going down the business route of looking to sell him at some point, if you wanted to do that, of still having some kind of sell-on value when he's 30. So we'll say 3 years, right? So let's look at Gyokeres. I just went back to season 2021. He's a bit older, so when he's in the championship at Norwich, he plays 30 games, he gets 3 goals. So that's a while ago. He's a little bit younger. What's that? 5 years ago. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So he's 23. I'm really bad at maths, by the way. He's 23. So in total, he plays 34 games, gets 5 goals and 1 assist. So we'd say not great. If we just move it on to the next season, if we have a little look at 21-22, my internet has been playing up today, so I'm really hoping that, yeah, it's going to decide to be slow. 21-22. If we look at it in the championship, he plays 45 games. It's a huge improvement. He gets 17 goals and 5 assists in total throughout the whole season. In 47 games, he gets 18 goals and 5 assists. So he's looking to hit double figures. It's a lot of games. 20 goals is roughly what you need to be in and around. If we look at 22-23, at Norwich he plays 46 games, he gets 21 goals and 10 assists. In total he plays 50 games, 22 goals, 12 assists. So his numbers are steadily improving. Apologies about that. Slowly kind of creeping up there. He then goes to Portugal in 2023. So for the 23-24 season, he plays 33 league games. He gets 29 goals and 9 assists. Pretty solid in that. In total, they're playing in the Europa League that year. He plays 50 games. He scores 43 goals and gets 15 assists. Again, you can talk about the quality of the league, but that's what he does there. I mean, that's high double-figure levels. And then we get to 24-25 last season. He plays 33 games in the league. He gets 39 goals and 8 assists. In total, across all competitions, he plays 52 games, gets 54 goals and 13 assists. 6 goals in the Champions League as well. So he's doing it at that level. High numbers, so you can see why you'd be interested, but again, it just makes me think, why is no one going all in for him? And again, maybe it's his age, but you just would think that if he's getting those numbers, and I know it is the Portuguese league, and sometimes it might be hard to translate, and I don't mean any offense to it because I don't watch it, right? But yeah, I don't know why no one's going all out for him. There's got to be something there that people are seeing behind the scenes that we're not, and we're not very sure of. So I think on that, let's just watch a little bit of Gyokeres highlights. Apologies if it goes to an advert or anything. This is on LUTY HD for this video, just to give them a little bit of credit. So let's just have a quick little look at Gyokeres, some highlights. The perfect striker, it says, skills, goals, and assists. So let's have a watch. That famous celebration.
Victor Gyokeres. It's Gyokeres.
Like I said, I've watched these videos already, so I have a little bit of an idea.
Was rocket propelled.
But both him and Sesko, big boys, move well for big boys. But you know when someone's big and it sometimes just doesn't look right, although that's what matters. But they're kind of like that. It's like, oh, is he gonna fall over? It just looks weird when they're a bit bigger. But he's got a bit of silky movements, little nutmeg there for those that are watching. He's got a good bit of pace for a big guy as well. He can hold it off and just fucking flick it through someone's legs.
Gyokeres scores!
Got good finishes on him. That's against City. I remember watching that game. He was good in that game. Finish. Weak it. Yeah, he takes his goals well when he does get into the box. Like I say, and he's big. And he looks like he can do kind of really a bit of everything. So, stummied the boy there. Finish. Well done, son.
He's still mine.
Fair play. So, he's got some decent finishes on him there. Yeah, I don't know. I think it looks good. Is it worth paying his release clause again? He's got numbers there. It's just that the people think that's going to translate into the Premier League, and do they think that for that amount of money that they're asking for at the age of 27, that it's going to be worth it for them? So let's just move on to Sesko, who is the other one that's being compared with Gyokeres, kind of the two out there. I mean, he's younger, he's 22, so you're looking to take a little bit more of a punt, right? So this is the interesting thing between the difference between the two. It's a bit more of a punt because he's younger. Gyokeres has got a bit more kind of data and years to play, where you can kind of say, right, well, this is the type of player he is, and this is what he's getting at 27. Sesko, you could maybe mold into something, so to speak, right? So he just turned 22 in May, so he is young. I went back to just 21, 22 for Sesko is when he kind of starts playing in the main league. So in the Bundesliga that season, he plays 24 games, he gets 5 goals and 3 assists. They do play in the Champions League. That season he plays 6 games, doesn't get any goals or assists. So in total he plays 37 games, gets 11 goals and 7 assists. That's not bad at all for his first season in that league. It's double figure goals and it's a decent amount of assists. He's helping a team. We know how Leipzig like to play. You know, they're good to watch. So if we move up 22, 23, he plays 30 games, he gets 16 goals this time, and he gets 4 assists. So his goals have up there. In total, he plays 41 games, he gets 18 goals and 4 assists. Again, they are in the Champions League. He plays another 6 games and doesn't score, which would maybe concern me a little bit. I know Leipzig maybe going in there as kind of underdogs in most of those games, but he's not scored yet in the Champions League in his first 2 seasons. If we then finish off with 23, 24, sorry, not finish off with, but move on to, he plays 31 games in the Bundesliga, he gets 14 goals and 2 assists. 42 games in total, he gets 18 goals and 2 assists. He plays 8 in the Champions this year and does get 2 goals. So there he goes. He bags in 2 of the Champions League games. And then if we have a little look at last season, as it loads up. Yeah, so he plays 33 games. He gets 13 goals, 5 assists. In total, he gets 21 goals in 45 games, 6 assists. Champions League, he plays 8 games and gets 4 goals. So again, young, but you have to say those numbers are not jumping out and shouting at 50, 60, 70 plus million that it sounds like that Leipzig are wanting. So that one does make sense as to why no one is really too keen to go there yet. And I think for Sesko, it might just be a case of one more season of maybe boosting those numbers up even more and being like, right, okay, there's a bit of an improvement going on here. This guy's on the cusp of something at 23 years old. It might be a case of that, I think, is what's going to have to happen with him. I'll be intrigued. I mean, Arsenal are in that position, right? I'm going to go through at the end just kind of the transfers for the teams and what the vibe is kind of feeling like at the moment. But Arsenal are under real pressure to get that number 9 in, and it feels as if you're putting your punt on this guy here. He's not a sure thing. You're going to spend a good bit of your budget on him, and he's going to be expected to hit the ground running, and he's going to be expected to join a team and push them to a league title. We know that, because if they don't do it this year and they don't get kind of any trophies, unless it's obviously you push someone to the last day or you get to a Champions League final, I think might be a little different from there. That might be the thing that saves him. But the striker is going to have to come in and just hit the ground running. So for the price you're paying, I don't know if Sesko's the way to go either, to be honest on you there. So let's have a little look at his highlights. This is on Scout Nation. A little bit of highlights on Sesko. So again, I've watched this one. So let's have a little just minute or so deke at him and see what type of player he looks like. 24, 25 highlights. Big boy again. 6'4". That just say there.
Still Sesko goes. Outstanding.
Stunning dribbling, great little finish that. Dink again. Same way what we saw with Gyokeres. He's got good feet for a big boy. It looks a little weird.
Oh, that's lovely stuff. Oh, it's gorgeous.
That's stunning. Couple of little drags, keeping it tight to him, and he pulled it past the keeper.
Leipzig this season, beautifully done. Oh, very, very beautifully done by Benjamin Sesko. So controlled.
Again, it's always easy to look good in the highlights, showing you the moments when you take the goals. It's a good little assist to Xavi Simons.
Some creative.
So similar to Gyokeres, he kind of comes in, he can drop in, he can link up, he can help the team with some assists.
There it is. Lois Openda.
Bit of pace for a big guy.
That's a deep pass. A great one for Sesko.
Powerful.
Lays it off nicely.
Reminds me a bit more of like a Nunez build and a Nunez type of player than Gyokeres. Looks a little different.
Sesko, delicious turn by former side Dortmund. But
yeah, he is tidy.
Right now, Sesko on the attack.
He's very tidy. Finish it on that one there. But yeah, again, a little bit different to Gyokeres. Big boy, but again, like I said, maybe a little bit more in the kind of like the Nunez type mold of player. He's kind of tall, he's kind of lanky, he's kind of powerful, certainly over that first kind of 10 yards or so. He can kind of just blitz away from you, but it's also got a nice little bit of silky feet. It looks like he can drop in and get involved in the play, so a little different to Gyokeres.